What's up, gamers? Welcome to Gamers In, and today I've got a brand new Everquest 2 beginner's guide for you. Now, this guide will cover the live traditional servers, and it's aimed at those who are new to the game and might be playing on free-to-play accounts. So, let's take a look at how you can get your journey across Norrath started on the right foot. The first major decision that you'll be faced with is to select the server type that you're going to play on. For free-to-play accounts, you're only going to have access to the traditional server option, so that's what we'll focus on today. Now, if you do want to play on a server that's different from the traditional server type, an all-access membership is needed to access the progression, event, and free trade server options. Next, it's time to pick the class that you want to play in EQ2. There are 26 classes that you can select from, with 2 of those classes requiring a separate purchase to unlock. The game breaks classes down into 4 major archetypes, which are Fighter, Mage, Priest, and Scout. First up, we have our Fighters. Guardians and Berserkers are both tank classes, with Guardian being the preferred in-game raid tank. Now, Monks and Bruisers both strike a good balance between avoidance-based tanking and DPS. And Paladins and Shadow Knights are both hybrid plate tanks with good to great DPS ability. Of the fighters, I'm going to recommend Shadow Knights and Monks as great beginner classes to play. Priests are the healing class in EQ2. Templars and Inquisitors are more like a traditional cleric class, with big heals and mitigation buffs always at the ready. Wardens and Furies are going to be the Druid classes. They are both equipped with excellent group buffs, regen, and warding abilities. Mystics and Defilers are going to center around shamanic abilities, and they are decent solo classes and boast a myriad of group buffs. I personally haven't played Chandlers, but it appears that they may need a bit of a rework to be a viable healing option. And of the Priests, Inquisitor and Fury are going to be my pick for beginner-friendly classes. Mages offer a wide variety of great ranged-focused classes. Wizards and Warlocks are the quintessential caster type, Wizards being the big single-target damage dealers, and Warlocks are more AoE focused. Illusionists and Coercers are support-focused with abilities centering around power regens, charming, and crowd control. Conjurers and Necromancers are both great choices for soloing, as they can both summon pets to add to their DPS and in some cases tank for them. Of the mages, I'd recommend the support-focused Coercer and also the Necromancer as being great beginner choices. Finally, let's take a peek at the Scout classes. Swashbucklers and Brigands are the debuff rogues of EQ2. These classes make an excellent addition to any raid or group with their ability to lower enemy damage and make your group hit the enemy harder. Dirges and Troubadours are the bards and are always welcome in a group or raid. Their ability to increase damage, increase hate gain on tanks, and deal a decent amount of damage themselves make them very sought after. Now, Assassins are the big damage rogue type. You can hide and backstab enemies for massive damage and easily top the DPS charts. Rangers, well, yeah. They are a ranged DPS, and some would say they do lack a bit in the DPS department. Absolutely no shade on Ranger mains though. Beast Lords are a purchasable class and are somewhat of a hybrid between monks and shamans. You can tame pets to fight alongside you, buff your group, and your DPS is definitely higher up on the charts if played correctly. Now, of the Scout classes, Dirges and Beast Lords are my top 2 picks for beginner friendliness. Now it's time to select your race. You can choose to start a good, neutral, or evil aligned character. I would certainly recommend picking the race that appeals to you most, as there are no significant stat advantages for picking one race over the other, so play what you like. When choosing a starting area, I recommend Neriac for evil aligned characters. In my opinion, Neriac is the best option in the game due to the quest NPCs being populated very close together, and your objectives are also close to those NPCs. Now, for good aligned characters, Kelethin seems to offer the better advantage, although New Hollis can be good as well. These zones don't quite populate the NPCs as closely as they do in Norrath, but they are both viable options for you to level early on. Once you've loaded into the game, my first recommendation is to type \claim into your chat box. This will bring up a list of claimable items that will aid you in the start of your journey. Most notably, you can claim the Welcome Home Travel Pack. This allows you to claim a 22-slot backpack and a ring that will up your move speed to a whopping 70%. Once you've claimed all the items that you want, you can begin questing. Run up to the nearest quest NPC and accept all the quests that are given to you. Complete all of these quests in the starting area up until at least level 20. You can begin agnostic dungeons at level 10 if you want, but if this is your first character, I would highly recommend following the solo timeline for leveling, and I'll include a link to that in the description, as agnostic dungeons are purely meant to level up quickly without seeing much of Norrath. If you're playing on a free-to-play account, you're not going to have access to mercenaries. You can think of mercenaries as an extra party member who can help fill a role that will complement your class as you level. They are available through the purchase of the newest expansion, or by purchasing them from the marketplace directly. You can learn more about mercenaries in my EQ2 review video linked in the description. Upon hitting level 10, your character will start earning what are called alternate advancement points, also simply called AAs. You can access the AA menu by pressing the L key on your keyboard, and these points will help you acquire new passive and combat abilities and make your character become stronger as you level. By default, your character will split normal experience with your AA experience in a 50-50 ratio. If you decide to purchase an all-access membership, you'll actually get access to a slider bar that allows you to allocate a certain percentage to your AA experience. Don't worry too much about manually adjusting your AA points while leveling up, as they will automatically go into a solo spec for your class. Once you reach the higher levels of the game, it is recommended to respec to a build that optimizes how you want to play. You will need to manually select your racial abilities, focus effects, and class training every 10 levels under the character development section. So make sure that you check on these throughout your leveling experience and get those much needed gains. Let's shift gears and talk about combat and abilities. I will first recommend opening at least 3 hotbars when you start. Each class will acquire several different abilities, and it really helps to organize these among different bars on your UI. Simply click on the one existing hotbar and select the Open New Hotbar option. You will also get an ability at level 5 that allows you to start a heroic opportunity. This will cause certain skills to begin blinking on your hotbar, and following the correct rotation will result in a heroic attack against the mob that you're fighting. Note that the heroic opportunities can also be chained with other players that you group with. Combat does have a slower GCD or global cooldown than more modern MMORPGs, but the point of this game was to promote grouping with other players. You'll experience quick leveling and light grinding as you level up to around level 90 or 95. However, the in-game content does require you to group up with fellow players and tackle some of the heroic and above content at level 120. Everquest 2 does still have quite a healthy population. This game is absolutely beautiful, albeit a little dated on the graphics quality. I hope this guide will help you to start off with a bit more knowledge than you previously had, and let's get more players into the game and leveling up. Don't forget to get your daily dose of good karma by liking this video and subscribe if you like what you see. If you're interested in a more in-depth class guide or perhaps taking a closer look at the soloing timeline, let me know. I'm currently working on in-game content and I'd love to group up with you and level. I've been playing EQ2 since 2004, but I've taken quite a few breaks and I'm currently playing a bit of catch up right now. If you start a new character, hit me up on the Antonia Bale server under my character's name Razai or Diz. I've also started a Discord server for my YouTube channel and you can get the server info in the description below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in Norrath.